Hello and welcome back in this video. So we are going to discuss about some of the general characters of class Mammalia. The class Mammalia is one of the major class in the chordata. So here we are discussing about the general characteristics of the Mammalia. Mammals are mostly terrestrial. Some organisms are aquatic, air-breathing, warm-blooded, viviparous, tetrapod vertebrates. Mammals are mostly terrestrial organisms. Some found in the water also, some are aquatic. They can respire with the help of lungs, air breathing. Warm-blooded means they can maintain their body temperature according to the changing environmental temperature. That is homothermic, that is warm-blooded. These are viviparous. They can give direct birth to the young ones. So these are viviparous. Tetrapod means having four limbs, the two pairs of limbs. Tetrapod vertebrates. Second characteristics, body is divisible into four parts: head, neck, trunk and tail. Body is divisible into four parts: head, then second one is the neck, trunk and tail. Limbs. The limbs having two pairs, total there are four limbs. Tetrapod condition. Limbs are having two pairs and the limbs having the ducts. Pentadactyl condition is found in these organisms. That is, limbs having 5 digits or sometimes fewer digits than 5, but generally having 5 digits. So they are having pentadactyl condition. They can follow pentadactyl condition, and the limbs are adapted for various purposes like burrowing, swimming, running, climbing, walking or flying. Limbs are useful for all these purposes. Limbs are adapted for, in some organisms for burrowing, in some organisms for they are used for swimming, in some other organisms these limbs are useful for the running, climbing, walking or flying. Exoskeleton. Exoskeleton includes epidermal hairs, spines, scales, claws, nails, hoops, horns, bony dermal plates. These are some exoskeleton parts which are the non-living part. Exoskeleton which covers the body or found on the body like hairs, spines, scales, claws, nails, hoops, horns and bony dermal plates. So different organisms have different type of exoskeleton on their body. Then skin is a richly glandular, containing sweat gland, sebaceous gland, that is oil secreting gland. Some organisms also having scent glands, but in many species the female having the mammary glands. So these organisms are called as mammals. So skin having different types of glands, having different functions. That is having sweat glands, sebaceous glands, scent glands and mammary glands. Diaphragm. This diaphragm is a muscular partition that separates the anterior thoracic cavity from the posterior abdominal cavity. In higher organisms like human being, the body is divisible into two parts. Anterior part is called as thorax part and posterior part is called as abdominal part. In between the anterior thoracic cavity or thorax part and posterior abdominal cavity, in between that two cavities, there is having a partition, muscular partition, that is called as diaphragm. Diaphragm which divides the two parts of the body, that is towards anterior thoracic part and posterior abdominal part. Next one, characteristics about the endoskeleton. This endoskeleton is fully ossified, made by bone. Endoskeleton is a bony. One of the major part of the endoskeleton is called as skull, in which the brain is protected. Skull is a dicondylic. Skull is dicondylic, made by two occipital condyles. There is a large cranium. Cranium is large. Lower jaw made up of single bone. Lower jaw is made up of single bone, ribs, bicephalus. Also, some of the parts like vertebrae with terminal epiphytes, vertebrate with terminal epiphytes. There are 7 cervical vertebrae. Ribs are bi biocephalus. So these are some endoskeleton part which is found in case of mammals. Next one, about the digestive system. Digestive system is complete. Elementary canal is complete, and that elementary canal is terminated by the anus. There is no cloaca. The system is complete, and there is having heterodont type of teeth in the buccal cavity. The buccal cavity is separated from the nasal passage by a hard palate. Buccal cavity is separated from the nasal passage by a hard palate. There is having the teeth. This teeth having several types of teeth. So condition is called as heterodont. Different type of teeth is found in single organism. So there is a condition. That condition is called as heterodont type of condition. And these teeth are fitted or fixed into the sockets. That condition is called as diphyodont condition. Diphyodont condition is found in case of mammals. That is, diphyodont condition means there is two sets of teeth. So that condition is found in case of human being. That is called as diphyodont condition. Means that first set of teeth can be replaced once in a life. That condition is called diphyodont condition. So about the digestive system is complete. There is a different type of teeth. Respiration by lungs. That is, there is having the pulmonary respiration. Respiration is pulmonary by the lungs. Larynx contains vocal cords. So by these vocal cords, the animal can produce the sounds, different sounds. Blood vascular system there is having 4-chambered heart. Complete 4-chambered heart is found in case of mammals. There is a double circulation. Blood comes twice into the heart, so they can follow double circulation process. RBC is small, circular, and non-nucleated. RBCs are non-nucleated in case of mammals. In case of human being. Excretory system. Excretory system, the kidneys is metanephric, and these organisms, mammals, excretes urine. That is, in case of mammals, ureters open into muscular urinary bladder. These organisms are ureotelic, excretes urine. This brain is highly evolved in case of mammals. There is a super brain in case of human being. So the brain is highly evolved. Cerebrum and cerebellum is large and convoluted. Cerebrum and cerebellum, these are parts of the brain which are large and convoluted. There is having 12 pairs of cranial nerves. They are having 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Next, about some sense organs. Senses are well developed. Sense organs are well developed. Many sense organs are well developed. That is, like these eyes protected by eyelids. Eyes are protected by eyelids. Out of the 2 eyelids, the upper is movable. Then ear having external part that is called as pinna. External ear protected by a large, fleshy, cartilaginous flap that is called as pinna. Middle layer with three ossicles. Middle layer having three ossicles like malleus, incus, and stapes. And inner ear having cochlear, which is spirally coiled. These are also a well-developed sensory organ in case of mammals. Sexes are separate in these mammals. In this class, mammals sexes are separate. Sexual dimorphism is well marked. Male with the copulatory organ. Testis commonly placed outside of the abdomen in a particular sac that is called as scrotum. Then also having eggs are small. Eggs are small with little yolk. Fertilization in turn takes place into the body. Except egg-laying monotremes, for example, duck-billed platypus, mammals are viviparous. Mammals are viviparous except egg-laying monotremes. Development takes place in the uterus. Uterine development is found in case of mammal. And developing fetus attached to uterine wall of mother by a particular cord that is called as placenta. This placenta is useful for the nutrition and respiration of the developing fetus. There is three embryonic membranes. These three embryonic membranes are present around the embryo, around the developing embryo. Parenchyma is well developed. Parenchyma is well developed in case of mammals. Some have pouches. Some organisms have pouches for the development of immature young ones. These are called as marsupials. Like kangaroo-like organisms having the pouches that is useful for development of immature young ones. And some examples belonging to the mammals, that is bat, ratus, that is a rat, macaca means monkey, camelus, camel, whale, human being, canis means dogs, felis, cat, elephas, that is elephant, equus, horse, petropus, that is flying fox, and macropus means kangaroo. These are some well-known examples belong to the class Mammalia. So these are some general characteristics of the class Mammalia.